Hey there, Mustangs. It is our final day of the RISE Science Test. You've been working on this on Tuesday and Wednesday, and today is the day that you will finish it up and submit. Now, remember, you do need to have your proctor right next to you before you submit, but you still don't need to feel rushed. Even today, take your time on those last probably 3 or 4 questions. We were hoping that everyone stopped at around question 8 yesterday so they could double check those. From there, you should just have 3 or 4 more questions with all the sub questions, of course. Take your time on it. Double check those answers. We watched that the kids who seem to really spend their time and double check are really beating their TMI scores, which brings me to an important point. You've had your stamp cards throughout the week, and hopefully you've had a chance to get the stamps. If not, you will be from your teacher soon on being on time, thoroughly using your scratch paper, bringing a book and sitting and reading quietly when finished, and completing and double checking your answers. So you get stamps for those, and remember, those stamps all add up to individual entries in our end of testing drawing we'll do during the last week of school. So the more stamps you get, the more times you're in the drawing, which is really, really kind of fun. When you submit your test today with your proctor next to you, it will immediately give you your score. And that score should go right on that first line where it says 2022 science TMI, science score, and the line below it is the science TMI score. So it won't give you the TMI score. It'll give you a number somewhere probably in the 800s. Use that number and write it down. And then on the back of your paper, you'll have your TMI conversion chart. So you'll find what your score was and then see what it was compared to the TMI number. You'll write that on the bottom line, and then you can compare. You can look at how did I do last year on my TMI score with science, compare that to how did you do this year. Remember, you're just trying to set a personal best. You're just trying to beat your score from last year, and we have seen so many students do that. It's exciting. As you remember, we give out that All Rise Up t-shirt. We'll also award you a taco in the taco truck the last week of school. So we want to celebrate that accomplishment because it's worth celebrating. Work hard on this last day. Oh, and the last thing I want you to be able to get to do on your stamp card, at the very bottom, there's a part that says reflection. Write down how you felt you did and any reflection you have on how that test went, how your TMI score panned out, and how you're feeling about the science test. We'll do math next week, but today we're just focused on science. With that, remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor. Keep your legs, arms, and head within the desk at all times. Do your best to show how smart you are and enjoy the ride.
You should have found a stick of peppermint gum at your testing station. Please enjoy this refreshing treat as long as you are actively doing the tests or reviewing your questions and answers. Please make sure you keep your wrapper. When you are finished and have double-checked everything, you are ready to submit.
Your M-Games personal training chart tracks your work on 4 important things: being on time, thoroughly using your scratch paper, completing and double-checking your answers, and bringing a book and reading quietly when finished. At the conclusion of today's session, your card will be stamped for as many of those categories as your proctor feels you completed today. For every stamp you earn, your name will be entered into the prize drawing at the end of the 4 weeks.
All cell phones must be kept in the cell phone pouch in the room and not in your pocket or backpack. If it is still with you, please make sure to put it in the pouch at this time.
Please remain seated during the test. If you need assistance, raise your hand and the proctor will come to you. Keep in mind, the proctor cannot help you solve, read, or explain any of the questions on your test. As always, use your scratch paper to figure out the answers or take notes on the test. Writing down your thinking will always help you do your best. Remember to use the dictionary, earbuds, calculator, and other tools given to you as well.
Make sure you do not submit your tests without your proctor standing next to you. When you're finished with your test and decide you are ready to submit, please raise your hand and the proctor will help you.
Your proctor will also remind you what your previous score was so you can beat your score for your own personal best.
Once you have finished, you will need to sit quietly and read a book. No other activities can be done at this time. You absolutely cannot disrupt other test takers in the room. For this reason, we recommend you take your time and don't rush through the test. There is nowhere else to go once you're done.